We have a really informative video for you tonight. Over the last few months, we have had someone on our channel a number of times who has talked about something that is extremely critical when you're purchasing an RV. And a lot of people don't know a lot about it. A lot of people get taken by it. And we're talking about RV financing.
So in this video, we have the professional back, Chris Lizio from Into RV. If you watch our other videos, Chris has been on several times, and every time he comes on, we learn something new and our subscribers learn something new. So we have him back on because he has new things that he wants to talk about, as well as new options for RVers out there.
Before we dive into this video, some really great information coming at you. These videos would not be possible, guys, without the wonderful support of our sponsors. So tonight's video is sponsored by RVmattress.com.
RVmattress.com by Brooklyn Bedding makes RV-specific mattresses. So if you're looking to buy an RV or you have an RV, you know that most mattresses that come from the manufacturer are pretty terrible. They don't put the R&D into the mattresses per se. Ours was no different. We had to upgrade. Many of our subscribers have upgraded their mattresses because one of the most important things you want on the road is a good night's sleep.
They also have products for your home as well as your RV. You can get cooling pillows, weighted blankets, sheets, obviously many different types of mattresses, whatever fits your comfort level. And if you're a full-time RVer, you can have it shipped right to your campground, right to your door. They have a wonderful 120-night sleep trial, so you are able to try out this mattress for a few months, see if it really works for you. And if it doesn't, they will work with you to find something that better fits you.
They're based in the USA. They have different types of mattresses, so where you want a memory foam, coils, hybrid of both. They also have the new Titan Plus mattress for larger, taller, heavier people. A lot of RVers were asking for that, so it's a direct response to RVers. And again, they have wonderful reviews. They're a huge supporter of our channel, huge supporter of the RV industry. And since you've seen it on our channel, if you use the discount code
ENDLESS,
you will get 30% off of your purchase. Now, they do run specials from time to time. So if there's a discount that is greater, you'll still get that. Now, you can't double dip, guys. You can't get the 30 and the 40% to combine it for 70. But no matter what, a minimum 30% off. And if you're lucky and you get them on a day where they're running a special, you'll get even more off. So if you want more information about RVmattress.com by Brooklyn Bedding, we'll put their link and information down below.
We have a really informative video for you tonight. Over the last few months, we have had someone on our channel a number of times who has talked about something that is extremely critical when you're purchasing an RV. And a lot of people don't know a lot about it. A lot of people get taken by it. And we're talking about RV financing.
So in this video, we have the professional back, Chris Lizio from Into RV. If you watch our other videos, Chris has been on several times, and every time he comes on, we learn something new and our subscribers learn something new. So we have him back on because he has new things that he wants to talk about, as well as new options for RVers out there.
And not only do people learn things, but our subscribers are saving thousands upon thousands of dollars using Chris's services.
So joining us is Chris. Chris, for the people that are the first time viewers of this channel or just this episode series with you, just a Cliff Notes version, who you are, what you do, and what can you offer the RV community?
Well, first, thanks for having me back, Izzy and MJ. It's always fun to be on your channel and sharing, what I do and the difference between working with someone like me versus working with a dealer or another broker or even your own bank. But essentially, I've been in the RV industry. If anyone has seen this, they know roughly 15 or 14 years in the RV industry, 20 plus years in finance altogether. I learned this business from the ground up, starting with learning the depths of credit and then going into loans and bank programs and auto and then RV. I've been doing it for quite some time. But what I do is I offer financing to private buyers, also to some dealers who need financing assistance for their customers, and some manufacturers who do customer direct selling. So I have financing options for those who are looking to buy from a dealer, looking to buy from a broker, looking to buy from a private seller. I have refinancing options. This is for all RVs and even boats and yachts, watercraft type of things. That's all available through Into RV. You work with me or one of my team members pretty much one-on-one throughout the process, and we have a closing team that helps get everything expedited and completed in a very efficient manner, and we try to keep the process enjoyable.
So when Chris first reached out to us, I don't know, it was 6-8 months ago, you were just like starting this into RV thing, and it was you. But since then, you've grown. So a couple of changes since then, which is good. Growth is always good, but with growth comes change, adaptation. So you've done a few things to help with the customers.
Yeah, I thank you extremely a ton. You guys have obviously been a big part of the growth as far as helping me share my story and share my background with clients who essentially need the service and need some assistance that's a little bit more dialed in, a little bit more one-on-one than what they'd get, going the traditional manner. But yeah, we have grown very fast, faster than I expected, faster than I had even planned or imagined. And with that came a lot of clogging. And the clog was, an overwhelming amount of inbound inquiries, phone calls, poor me. I know everyone's going to say, poor guy, oh well. But that is, it's all a blessing, really. But we have had to learn how to grow. And with that came, looking at our software, looking at our customer relationship management systems, looking at our phone systems, and then also bringing on more than just me doing this by myself. So I have, I have a closing team who is remote in Florida who handles all my closing with me involved, obviously. And I had two members there who had reached out because they were interested in helping out when I needed it. And I brought on two people. So if you do reach out to Into RV, you may hear from me. Most likely you'll hear from me, but there is a good chance that you might hear from either Emma or Julia, who are the current other members of the team who are also helping out. They're well seasoned in the RV industry and made sure that they can handle our customers the same way. We've had many conversations about these videos and what I preach to the people watching, and also to the customers who call and haven't even seen the video, so everyone gets the same type of experience. My wife doing marketing, of course, who is an absolute gem of figuring out how to do that. I can't do the marketing side, so all props to her for handling that while dealing with three kids who just run around the house like menaces all day. So that is the fun part. So yeah, we're now a team of 4 plus our closing team, and we have grown in that way, plus all the software that had to get better.
That's great. And you grow because you provide a good service.
Exactly.
So that's awesome.
So now you told us there's been a phone number change. So that's an important thing. And then you have some new fast track programs if you want to talk to the viewers and potential RV owners out there about that.
Yeah. So right now, or prior to this, I should say, we had the online application, which people can do. And the whole process of that online application is, hey, you can apply at any point in time. We're not going to review your credit until we have a conversation and really make sure pulling credit is the next step for you. Because in a lot of cases it is, but in a lot of cases it also is not. You may be put the application in, but you don't even know where you stand. And if you talk to me and you're 6 months out from actually buying, but you're very well qualified, sometimes pulling your credit is not really going to give you an advantage today, but we can have a good conversation about it. I have enough information to speak to you intelligently about your application and the details inside it. The difference is now we've also incorporated a fast track loan program. And the fast track is really for the person who is a buyer today, right? So, you're dealing with a dealer, you're dealing with a private seller, you've gotten to a point where you're ready to buy it. Either you just want to use my financing, or you've gone through the dealer and it hasn't been to your liking, or you've gone to your bank and it hasn't been to your liking, but you're ready to close as soon as you get the financing that you need. The fast track loan is for you. So I'm going to share my screen. I'll show that to you here in a second. Before I do, you mentioned the phone number. Unfortunately, we had I don't even know the number anymore, 833 number, a toll-free number, and we had a phone provider for that. When I was small and starting out and I was one person, that all worked just fine until I started getting 40 and 50 calls per day, and I realized a lot of these calls weren't actually showing up in my portal. I had to switch providers, and with that I switched phone numbers as well. So if you have the old 833 number stored and you want to get a hold of me, the new number, I'll show it on the website as well, is 470-866-4799. That number is good for calling. That number is good for texting. It's all there. So we can text together, we can call together. You can leave me a voicemail, and everything will come right to my phone. I have a desktop app. I have a website I can log into. It's all right there, and it actually ties right back into my customer relationship management system. All right, I'm going to share my screen so I can show the fast track if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that works for us, for sure.
So I'm going to go to, okay, well, there we are. Yeah, sometimes it takes a little longer. So it should stand out to you. I tried to make the fast track banner put right at the top of the website because it is different and it is quicker to get to if you see it right up front. So right at the top of the screen, you'll see this little image that's bouncing. It says Fast Track Loan App. It says now offering our Fast Track Loan App for immediate buyers. And that's really what it is. And it essentially is a altered, tweaked version of the original credit application that we had. It'll ask things like what the actual dollar amounts are of what you're buying. It'll ask for all the model information. It will ask you to upload a picture of your driver's licenses and buyer's order if you have those handy in a way that you can upload them. You can do it from your computer. You can do it from a tablet. You can do it from your phone. So any of those devices are fine as long as you know what device you're using that you can complete that with. It's really, really simple. When it comes into me, it all comes into me. I'll log in, grab it, and I'll have access to your purchase order. I'll have access to your dollar amounts that you're looking to finance, all the information of the unit you're looking to finance, and we'll be able to start working on that immediately. So that is the newest thing. If you scroll down on the website, you'll see a little bit more information right here, where it says fast track loan app, quicker decisions for immediate purchases, because ultimately everyone is important. But when you're sitting at the point of comparing, this financing versus that financing, or I'm ready to move forward, but have to get it closed pretty quickly, timeliness is extremely important to you, but also to the seller. And sometimes having those things delayed can hurt your chances of, locking up that unit or closing on it and getting the absolute best rate. So we don't want any customers missing out on saving money in those ways.
So can you give a little insight as to what the current rates are, what people can expect to see?
Yeah, they haven't changed too much. I would love to say they have changed for the better, but really they haven't. And that is just part of the hard part doing this, is really studying lender programs and things like that. We've had a couple changes. I had two banks that do, I'll say this under my breath, Montana LLC financing, who have removed a certain increase for the LLC portion. So that's good for customers I've talked to about LLCs. That helps them if they haven't already heard from me in that regard. But ultimately, rates have increased just a little bit across the board. We were seeing that top tier, 800 plus credit score, 20% down, $250,000 and north. I was offering 6.49. I had those now at 6.74, and everything pretty much below that goes up 0.25% as well. So at every tier, it has increased slightly. Like I've mentioned before, for those who haven't seen, I check rates every single week. And anytime a new rate chart comes out from a lender, it comes into my email. I immediately print it out and study it compared to the previous. And then what happens on every Monday is anything new, I put it all in front of me, I review it. And if I have to update it on the website, I do. So people who do ask, hey, are your rates updated? Yeah, I update it every Monday if needed. But a lot of times, I will keep them the same if I have access to those rates at two lenders. If one lender, if it's only one lender I can get to that rate, I don't publish it. I'll publish where I can get to at two minimum. So everything is verified, everything is true, and then we can have a conversation about what it takes to get to that rate, or if there's any specials, at any point in time. Sometimes there's an extra, 0.25% here and there that a lender might throw out for show season, or, we just had the Miami Boat Show. There was a couple of lenders throwing out 0.25% decreases for customers. Not something I can publish because it's like a 4-day special, but something that if you apply within that 4-day bracket, they're going to apply that to your approval automatically, even if it's an RV, because the RV and marine side for some banks just goes together.
Great. So that's good to know. So do you want to keep checking your website, because it could change weekly, possibly?
Yeah. No, it's I've only had to update it probably 3 or 4 times in the last few months, but it's gone from where it is today down 0.25%, back up 0.25%, back down 0.25%. It's pretty much flatlined in the same rate, the same range. I just, I wish I could start saying 5.9 at some point, but if I did, I'd be lying. And there's plenty of those doing that job for me, and I'm just not going to get involved.
So you did talk to us about some future plans that you are working on that come in the very near future. Do you want to touch on those for our subscribers out there?
Yeah, this is very, very future. When I say that, this is something where, I think I've talked to you a little bit about it, and we've had a large amount of customers who will come out and say, I'm 50% there, and I want to buy something. I haven't figured out where I want to buy it or what I want to buy. Can you help with that? And I would love to just be able to jump in and do all that homework or do all the research, figure out the floor plans, get all the pricing every single time. I can do it often. I can't do it every single time because of the amount of time it does take off of, everything else that's happening. Just to kind of get an insider's look, every application, as you get it and you start working it, each application, it should take about 30 minutes just to review it and really pull through credit bureaus and dial in income and debt ratios and all the things that the banks are going to see. I do all that prior to ever submitting anything. So there's research before actually even getting things ready for a bank. And then obviously the insights, that's a consultation, takes some time. And then eventually sending it to a lender and then working with a credit manager or a vice president of credit, that takes time. So if I am doing all that for as many customers as we are, and then I have to start calling dealers for, negotiating or figuring out what they have, it's not as easy as I once thought it might be. And really that just comes from being busy and growing. What you talked about. So my goal is to build a program for the customer who is 50% there or even 75% there, but they don't want to deal with all the back and forth and going all over the place trying to figure out, what their prices are, what their discounts are, or what their financing is going to look like. And a lot of that comes from helping a few customers and figuring out what they enjoyed about the process when I did get involved. And we've had a customer like that on with you before, the Cooks, who shared their story. And it was, it was a task, but it was very rewarding. I hear from them often. I actually spoke with someone just recently about them because they were going to be at their dealership for service, and I was actually able to hear about the Cooks. Hey, they're coming in for service and they're great people. And I was like, yeah, I know they're amazing. But it's good to hear those good stories and know, hey, you're part of that journey. But now what I want to do is streamline it. So I would love to hear your viewers' feedback on this. But the goal is, we're going to do all the financing through Into RV, so it's out of the way. At least get pre-qualified or have conversation about what you'd be qualified for, and then at some point you'll be provided a login to our portal where you can actually select from available inventory at partnered dealer facilities. And there are a number of groups that I have already connected with about this. This is motorhome specific. We're not going to get, as of right now, into much of the towable stuff besides one bigger brand that's more niche-y, but it's mostly motorhome based. And our goal is to cover all the main motorhome brands, the production brands. We're talking about, the Newmars of the world, Integras, Tiffins, Renegade, all those big brands, Fleetwood Group, Holiday Rambler, American Coach, and down the line. And I hope to have pretty much all of the main motorhome brands covered, so that if you're looking for a specific coach, a Coachman Euro, and you get to the point of doing your approval with us or your application with us, we can provide you some insights and say, hey, this is what you're looking at. Here's your login for this portal, and you'll click into it and you'll see a list of inventory that's available with pictures. And what happens basically is those will have predetermined pricing with the dealer groups that they've supplied to us that we will publish to you, but privately. So basically, you'll have access to the pricing, you'll have access to all of their fees, non-governmental, and then we will then be able to calculate exactly what the financing looks like that we've talked about on that specific unit with down payment, interest rate, term, and you can lock it in, you can leave a deposit on it, and you can choose to pick it up at the store, doing an orientation, walkthrough and everything, or having it delivered to your home after you've closed on it. So those are the real plans. This is a work in progress, so I'm only presenting it on your channel because I love the feedback from your viewers, and I would love any questions you have or thoughts you have on it we can talk about right here.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. So essentially you have the motorhome picked out. You know what motorhome you want. You're just looking for the best price and best financing, and you're going to offer that portal to the select dealers that are willing to participate. Is that kind of like the Cliff Note version, sort of?
Yeah, the whole goal is it's almost like I call it the Costco RV buying program, and like you'll probably might have to redo this video after that, but it's almost like a wholesale buying program. We're supplied the discounts. This is on new in stock. I'm not sure if we want to dip our toes into used, because then it comes a lot of variables of condition and things of those natures. But we're talking about new in stock available motorhomes and dealers who are willing to participate and saying, hey, every base star that is new that we have available, we'll discount it off MSRP, whatever percentage that is, and that's what we can offer to the customer. And from there, our fees are on top of that are this, and we can put that right on top of the pricing so they see it, black and white, transparent, and you apply your financing to it. And all it is a simple transaction at that point. And it's way more transactional, but it's just a way that we can help streamline that process. You can go to the show, figure out exactly what you like and don't like, and then you can get your financing lined up and you can see what's available of those models. And your pricing is probably going to be less than show pricing, because we all know what show pricing looks like. It's just a number on the side of a coach that just feeds off your emotions. So you can get your financing, hopefully the best rate out there. That's what we're going to offer you, and you can look right on our website. It's published, and then get get your pricing, it's published, your fees are published, and everything is as black and white as it could get. That's the goal. And it's not done. It is something that's in progress, but we're really close on putting the pieces into place to launch this. And we have a select amount of dealers who are interested, and it's the dealers that I want. It's not dealers that are just saying yes to this. I'm very selective so that the customers get the right experience, and they have to have the reputation, they have to have the support, they have to have the willingness and the understanding and agreements in place. So there's a lot that goes into it on the logistics side to make it where it's beneficial to the customer as much as it needs to be. I don't want it just to be a tool for a customer to go and they get kind of ran through this process. I'd rather it be customers still going to get a good experience, they're still going to get a great orientation, they're still going to get a great video walkthrough before they say yes. All of those things need to be able to happen. And if a dealer's at any point unwilling to do one of those steps, they're crossed off the list. But I'm only going to have probably 4 or 5 different groups covering all the major models that are out there.
Your honesty and transparency is a big part of why you've grown so much, and everybody that's worked with you has said that. And when you had your website up before, actually I noticed right on the bottom your little 5-star Google rating. So that's awesome.
It's always a good thing. We're going to be at the Music City Motorhome Expo end of May into early June. So that's a great opportunity if somebody's going to that show. First of all, they're going to buy because there is a fee to go there. So most people there are going to buy. This is a great opportunity. Reach out to Into RV even beforehand, just to kind of know what the process is. If you're going to be at that show, those are all high value, high dollar purchases. This could be a way to really streamline it and probably save a couple bucks.
Well, I'm incredibly grateful. I think I've said that obviously a million times over. Feel free to text me. I can't say that enough now because it feels really nice to be able to. I haven't had that luxury in the last, 8 months or whatever we said, Ben. So the number again, 470-866-4799. It's on the website. I just asked Google to update it earlier today because I forgot to, and that was oops. So hopefully that's done. Keep checking the website on rates. The fast track program is live. People on our team that you might hear from, they're on our website now. Refinancing, for those of you who are not sure if you're in a position to refinance or not sure if you got the best rate when you did finance, a phone call doesn't hurt. Refinancing is really easy to figure out whether or not it's the right time, and that is something where I've got a really good group of lenders who offer refinancing. Most of the times people call, I'm able to help them. The difference is what is their balance compared to the value for the lender. And those are the things we usually have the most conversation about. It's not usually, can I get you a lower rate? Because it almost certainly always is. It really is, hey, how much do you owe compared to the value for the bank? And the bank has to be in the right position, of course, because they're the ones that are going to hold the note. So let's talk about refinancing. If you feel like, you're not certain that you're there or you're not certain you have the right rate, let's talk about it. Let's just have a conversation. Hopefully we could save you some money. The worst thing that could happen is nothing. And the best thing that could happen is you save a bunch of money. So I really want to make sure everyone's contacting me on that if they're unsure.
Yeah, and that's happened with a few of our subscribers that they have saved a bunch of money. So saving money is always a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chris, we want to thank you for being on here. We want to ask our subscribers, viewers of this video in the comments below, let us know, what do you think about Chris's ideas regarding this streamlined buying process? This is the first time you've heard it Into RV. Have you used Chris and just never left a comment, but you want to comment on it? We want that information.
And he wants feedback, so definitely comment down below.
If you like videos like this, guys, to the left of us, we'll put our RV shopping tips, we'll put our RV tours playlist, and for myself, MJ, and Chris, is a journey of a lifetime. We'll see you on the road.